Have you ever wondered what really separates a flash-in-the-pan startup from a business that truly lasts? It's not just some genius idea or a flashy ad campaign. Nope. It's about building a solid foundation. Today, we're going to break down the 3 fundamental pillars that every, and I mean every, successful business is built on. Let's get into it. We've all had that light bulb moment, haven't we? That aha idea for a new product or a service that could change everything. But then, reality hits. How do you actually build it? It can feel overwhelming, and it's so easy to get lost. But what if I told you that the secret to building a successful business is actually pretty straightforward? It really all comes down to 3 key things. That's it. Your people, your customers, and your product. Whether you're opening a small coffee shop on the corner or building the next tech giant, your success really depends on how well you build and balance these 3 pillars. If you get them right, you've got a rock-solid foundation for growth. But if even one is weak, you're building on shaky ground. So let's take a closer look at each one. You know, every great building starts with a solid foundation. And in business, that foundation is always your people. Before you can even think about selling anything, you have to build a strong internal team that can actually bring your vision to life. This is pillar number 1, and honestly, it's the most crucial. Think of your business like a pro sports team. You can have the most talented players in the world, but what really matters is how well they play together. That's where this idea of organizational behavior comes in. It's basically the science of understanding how people work in a group, and it's the absolute key to building a team that wins. Okay, so you've put together your dream team. Now what? How do you make sure they're all rowing in the same direction instead of just creating chaos? Well, the answer comes down to 2 critical things: a strong company culture and a clear organizational structure. Culture is really just the personality of your company. It's that invisible force that connects everyone and everything. It's what makes the difference between a place where people are genuinely excited to show up to work and a place where they're just watching the clock. A great culture, that's your most powerful weapon. And if culture is the personality, then structure is the skeleton. It gives the company its shape and support. You've got the traditional top-down hierarchy. Think of a pyramid. But then you also have more modern, flexible structures that are more like a network, where teams can adapt and change as needed. There's no single right answer, but you have to have a clear and effective structure in place. So why are we spending so much time on this? Well, because this stuff determines everything. How decisions get made, how motivated your employees are, how well teams work together, and at the end of the day, it's what drives the performance of the entire business. This is the foundation that everything else gets built on top of. So, now that you've built a strong foundation inside with your people, it's time to open the doors and connect with the outside world. This brings us right to our second pillar, your customers. I mean, let's be real. A business without customers is just an expensive hobby. So, let's talk about how you can build real relationships with the people who will make or break your success. Just for a second, think about your absolute favorite brand. What is it that makes you love them? It's probably not just the product, right? It's the way they make you feel. It's the story they tell. That is the power of great marketing. It's about building a genuine connection and a brand that people actually believe in. A classic framework for thinking about this is the 4 Ps of marketing. First, you have your product. That's what you're selling. Then, the price, how much you're asking for it. Third is place. Where can people find it? Online? In a store? And finally, promotion. How are you going to get the word out? If you nail all 4 of these, you can create a marketing mix that really speaks to your audience. But here's the catch. You can't just guess what your customers want. You have to do your homework. You need to get inside their heads, understand what they need, what they want, and what keeps them up at night. This is where you have to understand consumer behavior, and it is the key to unlocking massive marketing opportunities. So, how do you actually get to know your customers on that deeper level? Through market research. It's really just a systematic process. You define a question, you gather the data, you analyze it, and then you figure out a solution. For instance, a company like Netflix is constantly researching what we're watching. That data helps them make incredibly smart decisions about what new shows and movies to make. Okay, you've built a great team. You've gotten to know your customers inside and out. Now it's time for the main event. What are you actually going to sell them? This brings us to our third and final pillar, your product. This is the heart of your business, and it's what will ultimately determine if you sink or swim. Your product is the entire reason your business exists. It's the solution to your customer's problem. I mean, think about a product you absolutely can't live without. What makes it so special? It probably isn't just a list of features, right? It's the way it makes your life easier or better. That's the kind of product you should be trying to create. You know, products are kind of like living things. They're born, they grow, they mature, and eventually they decline. This is the product life cycle. The iPhone is a perfect example. When it was first introduced, it was revolutionary. Then it hit a massive growth spurt. Now it's in a more mature stage. Understanding this cycle is so important for managing what you sell and planning for the future. In today's ridiculously crowded world, it's not enough to just have a good product. You need a product that stands out. And how do you do that? Through innovation, always improving. Through branding, creating a unique identity. And even through packaging. That's often the very first thing a customer touches. Think about Coca-Cola. They've been around forever, but that brand is still instantly recognizable anywhere in the world. So remember, branding and packaging are so much more than just making your product look pretty. They're about creating a unique identity. They're about telling a story that connects with people and makes them want to be a part of what you're doing. And there you have it, the 3 pillars of a successful business: people, marketing, and product. They're like the 3 legs of a stool. You can't have one without the others. If one is weak, the whole thing comes crashing down. So as you go out and build your own thing, remember to focus on all 3 pillars. Build a great team, truly connect with your customers, and create a product that can't imagine living without. If you can do that, you'll be well on your way to building something that lasts.